Hey, I'm at Kyle and Lissette's graduation party. Yay! Sandra, beautiful dress.
Shout out to JSA Adventures.
Yeah. Brian with his cool fan. Look at that.
Oh, cool.
That's my dad fan.
I'm so jealous. I wish I had the fan. It's really good.
Yeah, Kyle, star of the night. Chief graduating. Dr. Rasmussen. Yeah. Dr. Rasmussen's wife.
You should get the Peter Cottontail story.
Supreme Overlord Darby.
Oh my god.
New chief.
They keep saying it. I keep telling them not to do it.
Too late.
Peter Cottontail.
Hello here, Lissette, star of the night. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chili.
Hey everyone. Family, Lissette's family.
We love you, Chili.
Yeah, we love you too. Hey, new chief, Popovich. We love Jennifer, our coordinator. Beret. What's up? You guys having a good time? Yeah, any words for Lissette, Kyle?
Yeah, just congratulations. You guys worked hard.
Private link.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay.
Congratulations. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, congratulations.
Second year class.
Yep, we're the second year class. Best wishes. Congrats. You deserve it. Someone else.
Yeah.
I rolled last.
That's
Congratulations, you'll do big things.
Louder. It's Harrison. Hey. This is Chase.
I used to go here.
First year again. Yeah.
I got held back.
Switch.
Congrats, guys. Wish you the best.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, congratulations, you guys made it.
Our new chief. Dr. Lee.
Never forget who you are.
What? So serious. Too much drink here. Asian glow, Asian glow.
Am I ready?
That's just hot. It's just hot.
It's just hot.
Hello. Late at the party.
Hello.
Are we gonna make it
Any words for Lissette and Kyle?
It was an honor to be part of their training. I love them. I'm going to miss them and come back to us soon.
Yes, come back, guys.
Congratulations, guys. You deserve it. And a lot of health and good things in your future.
Yay. All right, any words for Lissette and Kyle? Start with you.
I will reserve my
On the stage, on the stage.
for you for the stage.
On the stage, on the stage.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Lissette, Kyle, thank you for everything.
Hey.
And we'll probably see you in a couple years when you come back. We look forward to it.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Congratulations, Lissette and Kyle. Go save some lives now.
Yeah.
Don't forget the bike card.
Dr. Bashasha, any word?
I always remember now.
You're still a first year resident for me. You know? You're my little young sister. I love you. Take care.
Nice. Any word for Kyle?
Kyle, you've grown to be such an amazing surgeon, and I'm proud of what you've achieved. And keep up the good work.
Yay. Rosie. Hi, we're Rosie here. Dr. Kirkpatrick's he's on call today, so you'll give the congrats.
Yeah, congrats Lissette and Kyle. I'm so happy you guys are finally done. They're both going in fellowship, so enjoy this next year. And hopefully, maybe you'll come back here and we'll see you. Yeah, Dr. Kirkpatrick's on call, but I'm sure he will have love to be here. And say congrats to you too.
Congratulations, Kyle, Lissette. You've done a great job. I'm really proud of you, and you've accomplished so much. And I know you'll do very well wherever you go, and hopefully you come back.
Great. All right, congrats, Kyle.
Thank
Been
you,
a
thank
good
you.
2 years together.
Yes, it's been great. I saw Jason as a lowly intern, and look at how far he is come. Soon to beat me, hopefully, on the robot on the lap trainer.
Yes. 85.
Whoa, look at you, ambitious.
Yeah. Thanks for everything, Kyle.
Cheers, Jason.
All right, if we can start the ceremonial. So I'm happy to have you here. I'm okay. Seriously empty.
You have to yell at it.
All right. So Laura and I welcome all of you to our home. Thank you for accepting our invitation to join us and celebrate the graduation of Lissette and Kyle from Career Surgery Residency Program. It is a momentous occasion for several reasons. First and foremost, it marks a fundamental milestone in the careers of these two young surgeons, the threshold they are stepping across to enter their professional lives. We are all well acquainted with the time and effort it takes to get there. I applaud both for their achievement, and I'm honored to host this event. We are also the first graduating class of the new program that I came to establish and direct at Kauai 7 years ago, almost to the date, and a testament to its maturity and the consistent support of the community and the institution for quality graduate medical education. They will be our program's first ambassadors into the surgical world. I am truly proud of their achievements and look forward to watching them flourish in the field of surgery they elect to pursue. I trust that their passion for surgery and commitment to excellence will serve them well. None of this could have happened without the support of the committed faculty. I would like to thank all the surgeons who helped training Kyle and Lissette in the many aspects of our specialty, and especially those who first embraced the vision of a surgery residency at Kauai, however outlandish that seemed to be, when it was only a little more than a faint blueprint in my mind. Dr. Mashesha, Dr. Atherton, and Dr. Kesala, as well as those who later joined our efforts, Dr. Kalani, Dr. Nagapawa, Dr. Rasmussen, and Dr. Kirkpatrick. I'm also thankful for the invaluable help of the program administrator, Jennifer Bonillas, and all those who preceded her. General surgery training has traditionally followed the principles that Holstedt delineated after observing a similar system in Germany at the end of the 19th century. Intense and repetitive opportunities to take care of surgical patients under the supervision of a skilled surgical teacher, understanding of scientific basis of surgery, skills in patient management, and technical operations of increasing complexity with greater enhanced responsibility and independence. We still follow Holstedt principles. Many consider the U.S. surgical training, and I'm one of them, the best in the world. As surgery evolved into a team sport, while Holstedt hard knowledge and skills principles remain a core requirement for the training program, additional areas of necessary expertise were identified. Professionalism, system-based practice and interpersonal communications, as well as practice-based learning, are now part of the curriculum. And programs are asked to train and evaluate the residents in these, for the lack of a better word, soft competencies. Surgery can be a challenging but rewarding profession regardless of the path you will decide to follow. The faculty and I believe that both of you have achieved all the competencies necessary for success in the independent practice of this specialty. An essential skill in life, and here comes the advice. Regardless of your chosen career path, is the ability to recover from or adjust to misfortune or change. That skill is resilience. Misfortune and change are part of life. John Lennon famously said, "Life is what happens while you are busy making plans." Both of you have demonstrated the resilience that it takes to overcome adversities. Adversities and setbacks sting, but give you clarity, help you reassess, adapt, and come out stronger and wiser. In a sense, if you think about it, that is the definition of practice-based learning, right? Your hard and soft skills will continue to evolve and mature over time, and you will adapt to the ever-changing environment you are going to face in your careers. You will continue learning and honing your strengths while you work on the things you know you can improve. Keep doing what you love and you will succeed. Steve Jobs said it best. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Lissette and Kyle, the faculty and I wish you a smooth path to a bright and prosperous future. Yeah. You're supposed to get a present as well, and you will, except it will not come in time for this. 2 presents actually. And this thing out of my face. Thank you. Yeah, just put it down, I guess.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
I will give the privilege of the podium to Dr. Darby and Dr. Thomas, who are the masters of ceremony after me.
So I didn't know exactly what to say to roast Lissette, so I tried to dig deep and find a story that I thought kind of explained her growth and our relationship throughout all of residency. We started at the same time, but she was always my boss, even throughout this year. So I want to tell a story of that first year. It was about maybe our second week into residency, and she was already telling me, you do this, you do that. And so I followed her lead because I thought she knew what she was doing. She didn't. So Lissette says to me, I have 2 consults. I have one that's going to involve a digital rectal exam, and I have one that's not so bad. But look how long your fingers are. Why is she mentioning how long my fingers are? She's like, you have the perfect fingers for a digital rectal exam. I had gone through medical school and I thought I was pretty intelligent, but I was like, I think that kind of makes sense, you guys. And so there's a group around us and they're like, is he gonna go ahead and do that? And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Lissette, I think it's a good idea that I do the digital rectal exam and you do the easier consult. At that point, Lissette starts to feel bad, and this has happened. She'll talk you into something, and she's like, "Man, I shouldn't have done that." So Lissette is thinking, "Man, I shouldn't have done that," and she's like, "Let me come with you and do this digital rectal exam." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm confident that I have the fingers. Lissette has the mind and the skill set that's going to make this the best digital rectal exam there's ever been. And so we walk to the bedside, and I introduce myself to the patient, and thankfully this patient is nonverbal. So she's not going to talk. It's our first time. We're going to learn together. It's not a big deal. I still have my white coat on. I don't take it off. Lissette has her white coat on. She doesn't take it off. We're at the bedside, and she's like, I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to hold this patient on her side. That's really good, Lissette. Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have tried a different approach. So I'm still believing in her that she knows best. We have this patient on our side, and we start. I have one set of gloves on, and we start to do this disimpaction, and it's working. Like, there's stool coming out of this patient, and Lissette is starting to shake a little bit, and I'm like, the patient's not that big. I don't know why Lissette is shaking like she's shaking, and she's not looking at me. I'm looking at her. I have stool going up my white coat now, but that's not what's triggering Lissette. The patient's face is in Lisette's face, and the patient, nobody's taking care of her oral hygiene. And so it's not the stool that's causing Lisette's problem, it's this patient and her poor teeth. I'm a sympathetic vomiter. And so now Lissette is starting to choke a little bit, and we're face to face, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, is she gonna puke? And she's got tears coming down her eyes, and now she's still shaking and convulsing a little bit. And I'm the one that has poop all the way up to their shoulder now. And I'm like, man, she must be really grossed out by this. But it's, later she tells me it's this patient's poor teeth. And so as she's doing, I start to think that I'm gonna puke on the patient. I'm gonna puke on this patient. And Lisette's still crying, and she looks at me and she's like, "You've got this, we've got this, it's not a big deal, you're gonna finish it." So we now have a pile of stool that is about 1.5 feet tall. And I have dragged my other arm through the stool now. And Lisette doesn't puke, I don't puke. We get out, and she's like, "Look at the lessons that you learned." And I thought she knew what she was talking about. She didn't. But that kind of, that's the story that I think most represents Lisette through all of this. She's very confident. She is actually pretty skilled, and you know, there are bumps in the road, but after it, she's always like, "This is the lesson we learned, you guys." So I think that is my greatest picture of what Lisette is and who she is, and we're gonna miss her, and I'm glad that she's going on to do even greater things. John has something to say about her too.
You know, I didn't think a scripted talk would do. And I met Lissette on interview day, and she had a game face on interview day, and she kind of intimidated me, to be honest with you. And we ended up, you know, matching here together, and I'll never forget one of the first days of orientation, we got a tour, and we sat down. Dr. Pesci, of all people, decided to sit us down in his office and talk to us about surgical residency from his perspective. And the one thing he said was that he sat us down on that big leather black couch. I felt like I was in something from Boogie Nights, and there was going to be a mirror and other stuff. And anyway, so he started telling us how bloody we were going to get here, and I thought to myself, what's he exactly mean? You know, and I thought, well, yeah, surgery. And he didn't mean it from a standpoint of that, but he meant it from, you know, the growing pains that you go through. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's, you know, her last day, I had to disappear because I couldn't say goodbye. And she's like the younger sister I never had. At times we fought like cats and dogs, and we didn't always see eye to eye. But you know, I grew to love her. I grew to respect her, and I grew to learn from her. She showed me a year ago how much depth and character and love she had for me. You know, from that moment on, I knew, you know, she's my chief, and so much respect for that girl. I loved being on her team. I loved working with her. She taught me a lot this year. She doesn't just operate. She doesn't just take care of a patient from a surgical standpoint. She has a way about her that the average person that goes in surgery, I don't think has. I mean, there's so many stories. I don't even want to get into the clinical ones. I think the first one that sticks to mind, intern year, I lived above Luke. Luke lived below me. We had Section 8 housing all around us in the apartment complex that was supposed to be gated. And I see this Lexus coming down, and it's Lissette. She was out the window, "Hey, Pop, I've got my cat." And the cat's jumping all over the dashboard of this Lexus. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? And she's flying out of town, and Luke's going to watch the cat. And I'm thinking to myself, sucks to be Luke. You know, and so 2 nights later, Luke is working nights, and he asks me if I can feed the cat. And so, yeah, that can't be difficult. You open the door, you throw some cat food, make sure it has water, and everything's fine. As long as the cat doesn't escape the apartment and run through the apartment complex parking lot, jumping through weeds and bushes, and you're in your boxers, and you're half naked running around trying to find Lisette's cat. So now I'm cursing Lissette and Luke at the same time, and we ended up finding that cat. Only for Lissette would I find that cat at 2 in the morning. You know, the bonds that you form through this process, words don't describe enough of what we go through, you know, individually and collectively. And I think that the experience that we've had here is just wow. It's amazing. It's been awesome to watch her grow as well as everybody else. It's been awesome to watch her mature into where she's at and where she's going to head. And you know, I know she's going to do great. The thing that I will say about Lissette Gomez is, you know, people love her and People care about her, and she is liked by a lot of people. People would ask me all the time. I'd be rounding, and they're like, "Is Dr. Gomez here?" Oh, I've got plums for her, oranges for her, and I'm like, "Where's the fruit for me?" They always love giving Lissette fruit for some reason. But people always asked about Lissette. She made an impact on people, and she's gonna be missed. She's really gonna be missed, and I know Luke and I are gonna definitely feel that for sure. For her and Kyle, and I'll just add with this for Kyle, I was the first one here out of this group, obviously aside from Darby, to meet the guy. We were on our children's rotation together, and Dr. Casar had reached out to me and said, what do you think of this young guy? And I thought, well, he's brilliant, he's disciplined, and he's all business, and I think it's exactly what we need for this program, and I think selfishly he'll help me, and I know he'll help the program. And he brings a perspective that we just don't have right now because we haven't had chiefs and seniors. And I'm grateful for you coming, man. And I'm grateful to both you guys for what you've done for us and leading the way. It's not easy to be in that first group. A lot of yellow tape had to kind of be broken through to get things done. So, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Darby. I'll be presenting the roast today for Dr. Oda. No bicarbs or ABGs will be presented in this presentation. So Kyle and I have known each other for a little while. It's been about 4 years. None of the pictures you're about to see are from Kern because those were the dark days. Only the good days at Kauai. Kyle Oda. I didn't know what to do for his roast because there's so many things to say. So I thought I would only pick the best qualities of Kyle Oda. Kyle Oda, the teacher. Everyone who's been in conference knows this picture. Kyle looking disappointedly at you, trying to find someone who doesn't know the answer to pick you out. Notice the shirt. Again, the shirt and the pants. Kyle Oda, one outfit all year. This is Kyle Oda. I apologize for the poor photo quality with one of our interns, currently teaching them how to take care of patients. The interns teaching Kyle Oda about popular subjects. Kyle Oda teaching the snack bar who's boss. Kyle Oda, the scholar. Everyone knows Kyle's smart. No one forget that. Look how closely he's paying attention to lecture. The attention to detail is staggering. Even post-call, Kyle is on point. Whether it be looking up patients after surgery, or in the car from work. Kyle never rests, even on vacation. How closely he's paying attention to lecture. Attention to detail is staggering. Even post-call, Kyle is on point. This is Kyle in preparation for any procedure. The research. The preparation. The speed at which Kyle operates. And the grace in which post-operatively he tells everyone about it. Kyle Oda, if you didn't know, is slightly an introvert. He and my wife, who is also an introvert, get along very well. Anyone who has ever met Kyle knows this face. This is the face he will show you, and if you have gained good graces with him, this is the face he will show you later. Kyle Oda's a good sport. He's happy to come to all the events and put up with our shenanigans. And sometimes, this is, by the way, Dr. Kirkpatrick said I could use this photo. I know it's of his leg. I have gained consent from him. He said yes today. He was okay with that, just Dr. Casaro, FYI. I showed it to him today, he said yes. Kyle Oda. But seriously, Kyle Oda is a family man. Maddie is, let's be honest, the most important person in his life. See how much she has to put up with. But Kyle's been, my family for the last 4 years. Swim club, us just hanging out at Korean barbecue. The surgery group. And on his road to being an attending. Congratulations, Kyle. Good luck for fellowship.
Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate the roast. I'm sure he kept it very PG. There's a lot worse things he could have said. Appreciate that, Darby. But, in all honesty, Dr. Casaro texted us the other day and said, think of something to say. And I thought I was going to go funny and roast everybody, but then I started getting philosophical and reminiscent. So I guess my final words will be, as Darby said, I guess teaching. So, but before I get there, I just feel very grateful for all the attendings at Kuya. You really welcomed me here, and I think I'll be forever grateful for Kuya because it basically let me achieve my fellowship dream and really helped advance me as a surgeon. And to all the attendings, thank you for your wisdom both in and outside the OR. It's invaluable, and it really helped me grow to who I wanted to become. So, thank you. But a few parting pieces of advice for the junior residents. There's a few quotes that I kind of remembered along the way and were told to me during my medical school and surgical training. So I think the first one, which applies more to the juniors, is by an old monk dude. And he said, "Start by doing what is necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible." And I think that it really applies when you're first starting out because, everything feels impossible. I mean, how can I see all these patients, write all these notes, and get into the operating room? And I'd say just do it a day at a time. Even in the 2 years that I've been here, and me constantly berating you, you've grown quite a bit. And that's something that's really awesome. But don't ever think you can't do it. Just keep trying every day. Keep trying to become more efficient. Keep trying to do better. And, eventually you'll do things that you just didn't think were possible. And I think next then is kind of going off that similar line is, I don't know who said this, but it really resonated, is you'll never know your limits until you push yourself to them. And I mean, that's pretty sports related, but it really is applicable to surgery also. There's things that, you just have to go out there and see what you can do. So I would say, don't be afraid of going for a big abscess score. Don't be afraid of trying to do a complex surgery and do some crazy surgical move. If you don't try, you're not going to be able to achieve it. So ultimately, I think, you just got to remember that. And then this one is more in the neurosurgery journal, but I thought it was very, very wise. And it says, "Great surgeons aren't born, rather they are made by commitment and willingness to pay the price of excellence." And I think that applies throughout your entire career. I don't think anyone went into this wanting to be mediocre. And, I think don't ever forget it. It's something that, you should think about every day when you wake up. You can always improve on what you do and try to be better. And my last bit of advice to you is, which isn't a quote yet, but if you demand more of yourself and those around you, you eventually will make a positive difference, even though if everyone really doesn't like it. So, yeah. But no, my final words are, here at Kuya, I think we're very privileged with the opportunity that we have available. I truly think it's one of the last programs in the country where a graduating surgery chief is going to be feeling comfortable with very advanced surgical skills. I feel very grateful for, again, the opportunity. It's just random chance that, Kern shut down and Kuya opened up, and I don't think I'd be where I am today without Kuya. So I just wanted to say thank you.
All right. So, growing up, my mom always told me everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe it now. I know that I was meant to be here. Initially, I thought I wanted to be a urologist, but my path led me in a different direction into general surgery at Kauai Delta, and I'm grateful every day that it did. I consider myself lucky to be able to say that I truly love my job. When I interviewed at Kauai Delta, what caught my attention is the kind and personable attendees. And that is one of the many reasons I was eager to be part of the first class here. And I'm happy that my first impression wasn't wrong. My mentors here have always been the most caring and kind surgeons, and I know that they care about the residency program and about each and every one of us. From advanced techniques to economy of movement, they have taught me everything I need to go out and succeed. And I am grateful to each and every one of them for this. And speaking of, this program would be a simple concept without Dr. Casaro, who has put countless hours, and I'm sure countless headaches, into making it a success. And we are all very lucky to have a program director who is passionate about what he does. And last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my family for their help in making it through all of the years of training that I've been through. I could not have done it without them and without their support. And I am happy that they drove 23 hours to be here to celebrate this accomplishment with me in one day. And that's it. Thank you.